Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is well. Today, I wanted to talk about how we can use our anxiety to let us know about our desires. Let us know about how to get in touch with our own personal compass. I have talked a little bit recently about gratitude and ways to find our purpose. You know, we live in a society and we live in a culture that is afraid of pain. And we do a lot of things to numb ourselves out. From process addictions to substance addictions to food, sex, internet, all kinds of ways to numb ourselves out. And then we wonder why we feel listless and maybe unaccomplished or not as far along on our path as we'd like. And part of the issue has to do with numbing out. And if someone feels anxiety, they just want to stop feeling anxious. One of the things I'd like to share today is an idea that perhaps your anxiety is a fantasy. A lot of times we have these checks and measures and things that are acceptable to our psyche. My question to you that I want to pose is, do you dream? Do you give yourself permission to play and explore and be in beginner's mind? If that is a struggle for you, there's a good chance you have anxiety. And one of the purposes of anxiety is to give you an opportunity to explore what could happen. Because anxiety is nothing but imagining and projecting what one thinks, believes, feels into a future possible scenario. Now, we can project success, we can project happiness, we can project fulfillment, connection into our future. We can also project destruction, worst case scenario. The boss is going to fire you. Your friends are going to leave you, your wife or husband, your kids, everyone's going to abandon you. And it might be interesting to consider the fact that perhaps that's a fantasy of yours. It's all made up. It's a story. Why would you make up a story that everything's going to fall apart? Do you need a new start? Are you allowing yourself to hit the reset button, or are you holding on to the idea that you should do it perfectly? If you're not, you're not a good person. It's unforgivable. But maybe you want a break. So you imagine something. You imagine catastrophizing, you imagine all these things coming to pieces. You think that perhaps if you gave yourself permission to rest, you wouldn't fear just getting some grave illness that would put you in a standstill. Awareness is one of the first steps. Accepting is the second, and action being what happens after those two things. And it's in that order. So having awareness that perhaps your anxiety is serving you, perhaps your anxiety is telling you a story about what it is that you want. Perhaps your anxiety is telling you that you're not giving yourself permission for some things that you really want. Perhaps you're making up stories. Maybe you don't want things to work out. Because sometimes staying the same, there's some kind of secondary gain. It's like, maybe you won't have to take responsibility for yourself or your life for that matter. Because if you stay stuck, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to take risks. You don't have to worry about being a beginner again. Some people say, oh, I have a fear of success. Yeah, maybe it's not the fear of success. Maybe it's actually just that you don't want to make a mistake. And that's what the assumption that there are any mistakes. That perhaps maybe it's all for learning and growth. But that would put you in beginner's mind. Mind is a funny neighborhood, huh? So the next time you feel that anxiety bubble up, I want to invite you to try on this for size and to really ask yourself, what that thing that I'm afraid of, what is it about that is appealing to me? And is that covering up a fantasy that I might not be willing to admit that I have? So I know this is a little bit of a radical idea, because we've spent so much energy and time reducing our anxiety. There's information there for you about yourself in these feelings. So if we numb ourselves out, we're not going to get the information. And we can go outside of ourselves and we can do all those things and get all the help, and it's wonderful. They may be a catalyst, but if those things are not bringing you back to yourself, then it's horse and pony show or snake oil. It's just a salve. It's just a band-aid. So perhaps instead of reaching for something to stop you from feeling anxious, ask yourself, what am I fantasizing about? What is it that I really want to happen if I'm projecting a story into the future? And I suppose that answer to that question might be very telling and helpful and instrumental in your progress and growth and development. So with that, I will wrap it up. I appreciate you. I'm grateful that you have taken the time to watch this video, and I wish you all well and blessings.